Hey, what's up guys? My name is Aaron. I recently acquired a bunch of brand new Nerf blasters and other Nerf products, so I thought I'd do an unboxing video with all of them. So let's just jump in here and start unboxing these Nerf guns. So I got a bunch of the Star Wars Nerf blasters that came out a little while ago with The Force Awakens. I was a big fan of the film, definitely wanted to get these. My original goal for these was to do Nerf meets Call of Duty Infinite Star Wars. No, I'm just kidding on that. It was originally for Nerf meets Star Wars, which I'm planning on doing. I was going to do it at the beginning of this year, but I feel like it's going to happen now at the end of this year. I'll probably release it at around the time that Rogue One comes out. I think that'll be good to go with that. Either way though, I got all these blasters and I want to open them today, so let's just jump in here and get started. Okay, so the first one here is the First Order Stormtrooper Deluxe Blaster. If you're wondering where I got them, I got all of these guns off of Amazon like I always do. Alright, so it comes with 12 darts, they're red, they say Nerf, and they have the Star Wars First Order logo on there as well. I think the red darts look awesome, I think the white clip looks awesome, I think that it's awesome that it's 12. You got this piece right here that just clips in on the side there, then 12 dart clip, just goes in right there. There's also a removable scope. Stock comes on and off. Load the blaster, got a little slider here. I'm usually not a big fan of clips, but I actually think this one looks pretty cool with it. I also like it how it's on the side, kind of different. Clip comes in and out pretty easy, which I'm a big fan of. Looks cool, works alright, and I think it'll look awesome in the video. Next up, we got Han Solo's blaster. I have a feeling this one, as well with Rey's blaster, are both simply for looks. They're going to look awesome, but don't really serve that well of a purpose in any type of Nerf war. So it comes with 4 darts. These have a cool blue color. They say Star Wars, Nerf, and then they got the Rebel symbol on there as well. Let's figure out how this thing works. Just cock it back or prime it there. Looks like we can put all 4 darts in there at once, kind of like the Magnus or another similar blaster. Feels pretty cool. Definitely has a cheap feel to it, more than other blasters. Scope's kind of useless, but I think it looks cool. Feels good in your hand. You can prime, load, and fire that pretty easily. Definitely doesn't look as cool as I think it should, but I still think it'll look awesome for the video. The fact that it's Han Solo's blaster is pretty sweet, and definitely make an appearance in Nerf meets Star Wars. Alright, next up we got Rey's, in brackets, Jakku blaster. I can imagine this is very similar to Han Solo's blaster. Big fan of Rey, big fan of Daisy Ridley. I thought The Force Awakens was an awesome movie. It's everything that I wanted to be in the movie, so I was very happy with it. Alright, I like the feel of this one a lot better. It doesn't feel as cheap. Seems a little bit more solid. And this is pretty much the exact same blaster. It's got 4 darts, same 4 darts actually, and you load and prime it the exact same way, and pretty much is the exact same thing, just looks different. I actually feel like this one looks better and is a little bit more solid, so I definitely choose this one over Han Solo's, but both of them pretty much do the exact same thing, and I think look awesome and we'll make it into a video. I actually already own a couple other Nerf Star Wars products as well. I got the First Order Stormtrooper pistol, which will also make it in a video. Hasn't made an appearance yet. You can just prime the blaster by pulling back right there, and then it fires. It works all right. I like the fact that the dart stays on the outside of the blaster. Doesn't have to go into the blaster at all, so less chance of it jamming. Pretty easy to load. It kind of sucks that you can't store any other darts on here, but again, all these Star Wars blasters look pretty cool, and hopefully will look awesome in a video. I also got Chewbacca's bowcaster here. It looks alright and does the job, however it's a little small and feels a little bit cheaper than I would like it to. And the way you load it is you just pull the bowstring right back here, pull it underneath the dart. See, I already have problems with it, that's why I'm not a big fan of this one right here. Let's try this again. Okay, I forgot, you first gotta pull the bowstring back, put it in place, then you put a dart in. That's annoying that you have to do that first in a certain order, not a fan of that. And then you can just pull the trigger right there. Load the blaster. Put the dart in, do it again. It works alright, definitely not a fan that you have to do it in that certain order, and the fact that there's this bowstring which I feel would break pretty easily, and in the past I feel like it just randomly just shot on itself without me pulling the trigger. Alright, next up I got a DualStrike. It comes with 3 elite darts, 3 mega darts, and can fire all 6. You can just have a little switch here that switches between the elite and the mega darts. Nobody got time for that. Again, all of these will make it into a video eventually one day. I have no plans at the moment for this one. Unless I do Nerf Gun Game 4, then this would definitely make it into that, but I don't have any plans for that right now. However, I do plan on doing a 4 because I had a blast making the last 3, and a lot of people really like them, so I want to keep making them. They're a ton of fun. So hopefully the DualStrike makes it in there. Let's give this a shot, starting with the elite darts. And then nothing, unless I switch the switch. Works good. Again, I like the fact that the darts are on the outside of the blaster. They don't have to go into the internals at all. In my past, if the dart ever has to go into the internals of the blaster with clips or anything like that, they jam a lot more frequently. So I'm a big fan of this. Definitely like the fact that it has 6 darts, 3 of each kind is pretty awesome. And you can prime and load this blaster pretty easily. So I'm a fan so far and can't wait till you guys see it again. Now it's time to pick up all the darts. Alright, this is my first Doomlands blaster. Never owned one or even shot one before, so this is pretty awesome. Again, no plans to use this in a video yet. Unless I do Gun Game 4, then this would definitely make it in there. But I am thinking that the Doomlands is kind of like a post-apocalyptic kind of theme, so it might even make it into Nerf meets Zombies. So let's open this guy up. Alright, so this blaster uses pump action to fire, so it's basically just like a shotgun, which I think is pretty awesome. Big fan of the rough cut, so I don't know, some reason I feel like this is pretty similar to it. It fits all 6 darts here in the drum or the barrel of the blaster. One of the awesome things about this Nerf gun is that it's clear, so you can see the internals of the blaster, which I think is pretty sweet. So this is a shotgun, which is awesome. You just take the pump handle here, and there we go. Extremely easy to load, extremely easy to fire. So I think this blaster is awesome and can see myself using it definitely quite a lot. The next item to unbox is actually not a Nerf gun. The guys at Precision RBS or Precision Rubber Band System sent me this. Now usually I do like to stick with Nerf or similar products. However, I was a big fan of elastic band shooters when I was younger. I used to actually make my own. I'd get like a piece of stick, saw a notch into the front of it, and then get a clothespin, glue it to the top, and then was able to shoot rubber bands with it. So I thought this was pretty cool and wanted to unbox it as well for you guys. This one right here is the Chiron. It includes over 200 bands in the box and can hold up to 100 at a time. Let's open it up and see what it's like. So there's all the rubber bands with it. It comes with targets for target practice. And nobody's got time for that. Okay, so this thing is pretty awesome, guys. It comes with 2 different types of rubber bands. The larger ones, which are size 33, or the smaller ones, which are size 16. It can hold 8 of the 33s, or it can hold 12 of the 16s. You could load them all at once and then fire them one at a time. So let's load a couple of the 33s on here. So for the bigger ones, you're going to want to put it up here at the 90mm mark. I'm going to pull it back. They recommend that you do one side tighter than the other. You just put it on the notch back here and make sure the rubber band is straight down the middle. Then you just click it back here with the tri-wheel here, and then you're good to go and put another rubber band on. So you just keep doing this, just like that, and you can supposedly do 8 of the bigger 33 bands. So let's just try 4 and see how they work. So I accidentally did it a little bit wrong there. The last one I forgot to cock the tri-wheel back, but so I fired 2 at once, and then I was able to fire the other 2 as well. So let's try a couple of the 16 size bands out. So it's the exact same way to load it, except you just use the first part of the blaster here, and it's actually cool if you want to make it smaller. The front part is completely detachable, and then you can just use this. So we'll load a couple bands on here. Again, tighter on one side. With a little bit of practice, you can get really good at this and do this really fast. Make sure every time you put a new band on, you make sure to remember to put the tri-wheel back 1 more click. I've forgotten to do that a couple times, and then when you end up pulling the trigger, it shoots like multiple bands at once. Alright, so I got about, I think, 7 or 8 bands on there. Let's try this thing out. This thing works extremely well. It's easy to load. The bands are pretty accurate. And I feel if you practice enough, you can get really good at reloading these things extremely quickly. Also forgot to mention, there's a storage part here at the very front, so you can fit a ton of bands, both kinds. So again, I imagine that if you practice enough, you could get really good at loading these pretty fast, especially with the bands just right here on the front. I have a couple other Nerf products that I got here that I just want to show you guys before I go. I recently got a Nerf dart tag vest. In Nerf Gun Game 3, I used the red one. The blue one didn't come in time, so I ended up using the red one. However, this is still pretty cool, and I'll definitely use it in a video in the future, just like the rest of these things. I also got here a new Nerf Elite blaster sleeve. This is used to carry like an extra blaster or two on your back. Let's try putting the long strike in here. I like the black, gray, and blue camo. I think it makes it look pretty awesome. Little straps of Velcro to make sure it's secure. And you can maybe put something on the front or other attachments. And then you could just like wear it around your shoulder or wear it on your back or something like that. So, especially if you want to stick with the official Nerf products, I think it looks cool and it's a pretty decent price. Last but certainly not least, I acquired a Nerf Marauder sword. I was waiting to get one of these forever, and I finally found one that I could get. Sadly, they don't make these anymore, but I totally wish they did. They actually have a red one as well, which I hope to get soon. These are massive, especially when you can compare them to something like the Vantage sword. Definitely way bigger in pretty much every way. I feel like the new Nerf swords are made much more out of foam, which is good for safety reasons, I guess. I feel like they stopped making these because it would be really easy to hurt someone. On this, the plastic and the foam on this is definitely pretty hard, and it's really long so you could hit someone from far away. Even still, I wish they still make them. And with this, hopefully I can do some epic sword fights in some future videos. It just feels awesome though, really high quality. So this is definitely kind of rare, definitely collectible. Well guys, that's all the unboxing and products I have to show you today. My next unboxing video is going to be of all the Zombie Strike products from my Nerf meets Call of Duty Zombies video. I'm super stoked for that, can't wait to open the blasters and can't wait to make that video. So stay tuned for that. You guys are awesome, thank you so much for watching. My name is Aaron, and I will see you guys next time.